Okay, so you are homeschooling now and you weren't expecting to be. Maybe you knew that you never ever wanted to homeschool, or you knew that you were interested and always wanted to give it a try, and hey, here's that chance now. I don't know where you're coming from, but I know that we're all in a situation right now where we're more homebound and learning to adapt to that. That includes me. I've been homeschooling my kids basically since before they were born. It was what I wanted to do. My daughter's now 12. She's been homeschooling her whole life. And then I also have a 10-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a new baby. So that's where my experience comes from. And I hope that I can help you right now in this very unexpected situation that most of the world is in. First, I want to say that we are all different people. One of the things that I love about homeschooling is that I feel that it really caters to our differences. I call it a la carte schooling because I feel like you can kind of pull the different things that work best for your family, your kids, their learning styles, your needs as a parent or caretaker. So that's the good thing. The difficult thing about that is that there isn't an easy solution, like one thing for everybody that's gonna just work. So what I would love is for you to fill out in the comment section down below any questions you have, whatever your personal experience is right now or your personal needs, and I will do my best to find the most similar answers and create videos according to those needs, because I don't want to waste your time. I want to make sure you can find the videos that really have to do with what you're dealing with right now in your situation as much as I can. I know a lot of you will have questions like, how do I homeschool my 7-year-old when I have a baby at home right now? How do I work from home and also have 4 kids now in my house? How do I deal with the fact that I need to work and I now have a 5-year-old at home who needs me completely? I know you'll have questions like that. I'd love to get your specific scenarios and just really specific questions, especially since I'm not exactly familiar with how the schools are handling it. I'm seeing different school responses. So I'd like to know how many people are actually getting like packets and workbooks that they're supposed to be working on, and how many people are just kind of like on their own and trying to figure it out from nothing. And how many of you have access to resources or funds. I know people have different budgets, and this is completely possible to do on no budget. This is completely possible to do on no budget, especially now that we have computers. Like, whoa, free things on the internet. That's awesome. So I will make a video that lists my favorite free online resources. I can also make a video of some of my favorite curriculum and resources, but I also want to be aware of the fact that we might not be able to do online shopping. Like if people are having hiccups in delivery, I'm trying to be aware of that. I don't know if that's a big issue, but at least for me, when I've gone to do some of my online shopping in the last day or two, there's definitely been, at the very least, a slowdown. It's not like the day of delivery that we've been seeing more commonly these days. So I want to be very aware of the fact that some people will not be able to purchase anything at all, either because of financial reasons or because of like delivery and shopping options. I will in this video give one universal piece of advice, because I do feel like one thing we all share is the goal for our children to grow up and be able to live on their own. So one thing I want to focus on today is the fact that this is an opportunity for us to all have our kids at home and to do some extra at home training with them. And this goes to me too, because my kids have been getting older and they've been going more and more to classes during the days as opposed to being at home. This is something we focus on a lot when they were like toddlers and preschool aged, but something that we've been distancing from naturally as the kids have been getting older and spending more time away from the house. So I'm going to be focusing on our life skills. I'm going to focus on our kids doing more cooking and cleaning and general social skills, like between each other. Not that my kids aren't socializing, because they do that a lot, but more so behaviors like kindness to each other, how to apologize. Why do we want to follow the golden rule and be kind to people and treat them the way that we would like to be treated. Just to really dive deeper into intentional behaviors as opposed to just being with other people and that's fun and this is why it's fun. So yesterday, for example, we went and we did some planting. So my husband was able to take the kids out to the garden and they were able to plant and have that responsibility of getting their hands dirty and actually putting in that work. And then we were able to talk about that cycle of what you plant then grows and can provide for your home. And then from that, it stemmed into science discussion and just a really natural discussion about all that plants and gardening can entail. So the reason I bring that up is because to me, that's a perfect example of homeschooling success. You take something that's an actual need in your life. So like, okay, we would like to be reassured that we have an ongoing food source, right? Not in a way to panic you or worry you, but just like, hey, why weren't we doing this before? We should make sure that we have our garden cared for and prepared if we need to have food that we're planting on our own. So you take that need and then you go, okay, the kids are gonna join in and they're going to learn some responsibility, be helpful, because it's nice to not have to take it all on ourselves, right? As that's happening, they're learning how to plant for themselves in the future. They're learning how to be helpful in general, just good citizens. And then you can actually talk about the things that are going on. You can talk about science. There's a ton of like biology and life cycle things that you can talk about when you're looking at plants. And then you can also go from there and do like basic math discussions. It depends on the level of your kid, but you know, if they're little, like Duncan, he can count the tomatoes that are like little green ones growing on the vine. If they're older, you can go into like addition, multiplication, subtraction. And part of the reason why I'm talking about this particular example for homeschooling is because I'm also trying to be aware of the fact that a lot of people out there won't have textbooks or workbooks or computers or things that they've been given by a school. I know a lot of you guys do have packets and things. I won't exactly know what the majority of needs are until you fill out the comment section down below. So I'm trying to share the most simple, inexpensive, no resources at all solution for homeschooling. And also, this is actually my preferred way to homeschool. It's considered more of an unschooling. If you want to look up that word, it's kind of a controversial arena in the homeschooling land, but there are some great things about it too. And it's just the concept of looking at the world around you and what you're interested in that moment and really diving in and learning about it. And I think that that can be a really great thing. In trying to be respectful of the fact that some people might not have any resources at all, I'm gonna start there and then we'll pivot and look at other ways when you do have different resources or different needs. And I understand also people aren't all going to have gardens, but this is just an example. And I also want to say that this isn't always gonna be perfect, you know, like you might be talking about one thing and be like, oh my gosh, they are learning so much. And then you look at them and they're like smudging dirt all over the place and like, then they start fighting and it's like, but don't let that get you down. Anytime that I see things like that, first I will have that initial like, reaction a lot of the times, but then I try to turn into like, okay, so what do they need? Like if this turned into fighting with each other, how can I help them to be respectful when somebody's talking? Maybe I jumped into this too quickly and we need to go back and just work on those social skills or that cleaning skill or whatever. So my big tip that I think is universal is to really look at your child or children and their needs right now and use the time to assess how you can help them the best and to look at like what they're struggling with as a person and to be able to help them with that and to really just focus on those life skills. The big takeaway I want you to have from this is that this is a time where we can all work on our home and life skills. There's nothing wrong with that. And when you're getting frustrated with your kid, with your situation, with whatever is going on around you, take the time to stop and think about how you can learn from it and how they can learn from it. If it's reading the news and you're finding that you're getting a lot of anxiety or frustration from that, think about that and go like, well, what about when my kid is reading the news and getting anxiety and frustrations? How can I talk to them for in the future for how I would hope that they could handle this? Or for yourself, recognize that you're having that anxiety, and that one thing might help you is a cup of tea in the morning. Like for me, I love starting my day with a cup of tea. Almost all of my children are trained on how to make a cup of tea because they want to make sure that mommy's happy first thing in the morning. And if I'm happy and at peace, like we all have a better morning. So they actually really enjoy bringing me tea in the morning. And I think that that's really special. And it was something that we had to learn. Like the kids had to learn it. I had to learn that about myself, that I perform better if I have a little glass of tea. I can feel all cozy and really like excited to start my day. So I try to make sure that that's there, either from the kids helping me with it or from me helping myself with it. The takeaway is, instead of getting frustrated completely, like get frustrated a little bit, I understand. But instead of completely just being upset about your situation or something your kids are doing in a moment, learn to stop and look at that as a learning opportunity. Getting into the habit of going, all right, this is something I can help them with and I can teach them, and it will make their whole lives better. You know, if it's a basic thing like picking up a towel off the bathroom floor, that's like the #1 complaint you hear in relationships. Like, oh, my husband never picks up the towel off the bathroom floor. So like you have the opportunity right now to stop that issue in your child's future relationships. And that's awesome. I'm also not trying to completely ignore like the school and the long division and all of that, but I just want to share with you that universally, we have this ability right now to really focus on our life and home skills, and that's really cool. But please ask me your questions, tell me your scenarios, and I will do my best to answer you. This series obviously isn't planned, but I have had a lifetime of personal hands-on training to be able to hopefully help you. And you're doing great. And I believe in you, and you're gonna get some extra time with your kids. Let's try to do our best to focus on the positive, even when this is a very unexpected time.